So are we still calling them extreme sports? Seems like an outdated phrase. Can we go with something like athletic death wish?
We have two crimes on two different continents. Diamond sorting facility in Mumbai and today's cargo plane over Mexico. But there's a third crime on a third continent.
You say this is connected to the other two?
I think they're all connected, sir.
Then what are they really up to here?
I don't know why they're committing the crime, sir, but I have an idea what they're chasing.
Point Break is a remake of the original Point Break film starring Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze that came out, ready to feel old, a quarter of a century ago. Yeah, it's been that long. They update it with lots of extreme sports, but does the movie work? Here's 5 things you might want to know before you go and see the new Point Break. Number 1, are you a fan of the original film? Did you love the bond between Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves? Well, too bad. None of that's here. Yeah, if you're a fan of the original, I don't think you're going to enjoy this. And I'm speaking as a fan of the original. Well, a kind of fan. This doesn't have any of the edge, the bond between the main characters, any of that interesting way they do the bank robberies. None of that stuff is here in this update. It's as if they looked at the old one and thought, you know what's cool about this movie? That they surf and they rob banks. That's what everybody loved about the original Point Break. So let's update that with extreme sports. No, we liked the characters. We liked the relationships. That's the stuff we enjoyed, and they get all of that wrong. Not only that, and we'll call this number 2, they update it with something that's outdated. Extreme sports, I mean, they're still fun and there's still something that happens, but they haven't been the top of the cultural consciousness for what, I don't know, 5 to 10 years now. So when they're doing all these, motocross and rock climbing and all this kind of stuff, it almost feels like a movie that should have been made 5 to 10 years ago. And because of that, you're kind of left scratching your head going, couldn't you have found something cooler for these criminals to do? Something more involved than just climbing things and riding bikes? Because we've seen that stuff a million times. We've seen real people do it in real amazing ways. So it's not impressive to us that you can do it in a Hollywood movie. We would think you probably could. But worse than that, and probably the worst thing, and yes, I am going to keep railing on this movie, number 3, you don't care about these characters. That's what it comes down to. And not only do you not care about these 2 main characters, you don't think that they care about each other. And if they don't care about each other, if you don't believe that that bond is there, none of the plot moments in this movie hold any weight. If they aren't struggling with their own love for each other as bros, then none of this stuff makes sense. I think they were trying to do that. I think they thought it was there. It's just not. And so you're left kind of with no investment in their relationship and therefore no payoff when anything happens. Speaking of payoff, and I'm not going to give anything away, but number 4 is how awful this ending is. And I just mean the little coda at the end that kind of sends us into the credits. It's really dissatisfying. Now, I'm not the kind of guy that needs a full resolution. I don't need to know exactly what happened to all of our characters so I can feel comfortable and go home. But I would like an ending that at least makes a little sense as to what you were trying to tell me in the movie, that at least resonates with some of the themes that I thought maybe you were trying to deliver throughout it. Instead, we get an ending that is completely nonsensical and completely tears any semblance of a foundation the movie may have had right out from underneath you. It is one of the worst endings to a movie I've seen in a long time. Man, this movie's bad, but let's finish with something at least a little bit positive for number 5. At least the visual effects weren't awful. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on screen, and most of it looked good. So at least while I'm bored, I have something pretty to look at. Overall, Point Break, as you may have guessed, was a severe disappointment. Doesn't do very much well at all, and cannot stick the landing with anything more than a D. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. If you want to stick around, we'll have the best ever challenge here in a second. Before we get there, though, if you'd like to click the little information button right up here in this corner, it'll slide out while the video is going, and you can see links to other reviews that have happened here at the channel, how to support the channel, as well as go to the website, yourmoviefriend.com. You can also follow me on Periscope if you like to do the Periscope thing. I'm Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. I love to hop out of a movie I've just seen, pop open Periscope, and have a conversation with other movie lovers. It's a lot of fun. You can also subscribe to the podcast, SiftPop, SiftPop. Myself, my friend Danae, and a guest every week talk pop culture and movies. It's a lot of fun, and we do that every single Friday. So subscribe at iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you do that. All right, on to the Best Ever Challenge. This is where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. Let's go with the best movie ever featuring motorcycles. There you go. Mine is the one that I thought might have been about a Native American who joined the Olympic track team, but I was really wrong. Take a guess at mine in the comments. Leave your choice there as well. And as always, whoever gets mine right first does get that point. Here's 5 extra seconds to hit subscribe so you don't have to miss another review. Just click the logo right down in this corner.